Hello to all the cloud enthusiasts and a warm welcome to my channel, The Cloud Minds. Guys, as you all know me, you already have been following me. My name is Tejas Mahendrakar, and I hope that you all are doing at the best of your health, at the best of your wealth, and that you all are striving to become a better version of yourself. Guys, let me give you a quick introduction about myself, and then there is a really interesting topic that I wanted to discuss with you today. That's the reason why I thought I'll make this video. And before we start, there's a quick introduction, like I said. Guys, as I said, my name is Tejas Mahendrakar. You can find me on LinkedIn. That's the LinkedIn handle, or the LinkedIn URL, the username on LinkedIn. And if you want to look at the content that I'm putting out, it will be on YouTube. It is a very simple content. If you go to the YouTube videos and then take a look, you will understand that the content is very simple to understand, because initially when I started the cloud journey, it was very difficult for me to understand all these cloud services, all these jargons, and that's the reason why I thought I'll make these contents, these videos, so that I can impart all of the knowledge that I have and make it simpler for you to understand and move towards ahead in this cloud journey. Alright, and for the Gmail, the cloudsimplifier@gmail.com, that's my email ID. If you have any questions, if you're stuck somewhere, please do not hesitate to contact me. And once you're on the YouTube channel, and if you're watching this video on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to share it with your friends. Do not forget to like this video. Alright guys, so that was a quick introduction about me, and what are we going to discuss today? We are going to discuss how can we create a small quick website on EC2. How can we start the web server? How can we create a simple, very simple, it'll just be an index page. I'll show you how to deploy that website on the EC2 instance, and I'll show you 2 to 3 ways of how to do it. That's the reason why I thought I'll make this video and I'll share this knowledge that I have with you. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and understand what the EC2 is. Well guys, as you all might already be knowing, EC2 is like a virtual machine on the cloud, and while you are creating the EC2 instance, you have got different options to create. You can go from T2 Nano till the higher instances which have a huge CPU or a huge RAM. So all of the options are available for you. Even the operating system options, for example, are available. So you have Amazon Linux, you have Mac, you have Windows, you have Linux, you have Ubuntu, you have SUSE. You have different versions of Linux, different versions of operating system. All of these configurations can be done within the EC2, and then you can configure and then launch your EC2 instance. As I said, today we are going to see how we can create a simple website on the EC2 instance, how we can deploy, how we can start the EC2 instance and the server, the Apache server on EC2 instance, so that it can serve the pages. Now there are a bit of quirks in this, and that's the reason why I thought I'll make this video and then try to resolve all of those issues you guys might be facing. Now guys, if you see, this is the console home. This is when you land on the management console, the AWS management console. This is where you land exactly, and then when you click on the EC2 is when it takes you to the EC2 dashboard or the landing page. And once you are there, you have an option to either configure the EC2 instance, or you can create different EC2 instances now. And like I said, you can configure different kind of EC2 instances, whichever you want. Alright, so let's go to instances and see if there are any running instances. As of now, I have not created any instances, so you can see there are no matching instances. The way we do is to click on the launch instance, and now the launch instance page has been made very simple. Previously there were like 6 to 7 steps that you had to go through, but then the launch instance step here, they have made it very simple. Now guys, think of EC2 as a virtual, like I said, a virtual machine or a virtual laptop or a desktop on the server, on the cloud. And that's the reason why we have this EC2 as a server and as an instance. Alright, so what do? We'll give it a simple name. we'll give this as my test web server instance. All right, this is the name that I thought I'll give. And then when you scroll down, you have, as I said, everything has been provided in the same single page itself. Previously, as I said, there were different steps, but now they have given everything in the same page. You can look at what kind of operating system that you want to choose. I'll stay with Amazon Linux. I don't want to change it. And whenever you choose an AMI, the Amazon machine image, you always try to look at whichever is the free tier eligible if you are inside the free tier. Right, so now I'll keep this as default. I don't want to change anything here. This architecture, I'll keep it as 64-bit as of now. The T2 Micro has one vCPU, which means it is a virtual CPU. It is not a physical CPU. It's just a virtual CPU because, like in my previous videos, we have already spoken about what is hypervisor and what is virtualization, and that's the reason why you see that there is one virtual CPU and 1 gigabit of memory provided to us. All right. Now moving ahead, I already have a key pair, that is the EC2 web server key pair, and I'll select that key pair. I already have it in my machine. If you do not have a key pair, consider creating a new key pair and then save that key pair, because it is only once that is shown to you the key pair. You need to download it. If you do not, and if you close the screen, then you'll have to create a new key pair, guys. Alright, so coming down to network settings, you don't have to worry anything about it. Whatever is the default VPC is being taken here. One of the very important things that I wanted to show you here is to enable the auto assign public IP. Now why do I need this? Because once we have the public IP assigned to this particular EC2 instance, so whenever like I said, we are going to deploy a web server, we are going to deploy a simple website here, and whenever I want to access that website, I need a public IP. That's the reason why we need to see that it is enabled here. That's the first thing. The second thing that you need to look at is the user data. This is very important because I have created a script here, and this script installs the HTTPD, which is the HTTP daemon, which is the Apache web server, and it starts the web server and it enables or continues the web server even if the EC2 instance is restarted. That is the command that we need to provide here. So if you see, it is bin bash, and then I have provided yum install -y HTTP. You can also update, you can also add a script to update this, but I haven't added it. Then I have started the HTTPD, which is the HTTP daemon, and then I have enabled the HTTP daemon. So this is all that we require. Let me just try to take a look once again. Okay, it looks good, and then I'll launch the instance. Now launching the instance will take some time because it has to configure all of the things. It has to take the EMI, it has to provide the user data that we had provided, it has to configure all of them, and it will take some time, and I'll be back once the EC2 is launched. Let me just show you guys what I mean. So when I come to the EC2 instance launch page, if you see, the instance state is still pending, and then the status checks are also pending. We'll come back and see after the status checks have been shown green and the instance state is running. Till then, let's wait and see how this goes. Alright, so looks like the status checks is still initializing, so I thought I'll just give you a quick tour of what the web server is all about. The EC2 instance is all about. So if you see that I have enabled, like I said, I have enabled the public IPv4 address, and it has given me an IPv4 address from the pool of public IP addresses that already the Amazon AWS has. So if I open it, it will not open. There are 2 to 3 reasons for this. I'll share you with that reason, but then just we'll take a look at what are all the configurations that have been provided to us. Okay, so this is the instance ID. The name that we had provided, this is the name that we had provided, this is the public IP address, this is the private IP address. The instance state as of now is running, and if you scroll down a bit, it will give you all the details. For example, it is providing you what kind of platform it is, what kind of operating system it is, and what is the AMI from which it has taken. The monitoring as of now is disabled, and other details or other configurations that we had provided, everything has been taken here. Alright, another thing that I wanted to show you is the security groups. Okay, now if you see the security groups, there are few security groups that have been created, and the security group name here that has been created is the launch wizard one. That is the name of the security group. Now security group, you can only allow things, you cannot deny any of the, for example, if you want to allow HTTP port, or if you want to allow SSH port, you can just allow that and you cannot deny. That's the reason why there is a difference, a bit of difference. You need to understand what is the difference between NACL, which is on the subnet level, and the security groups, which is on the instance level. You need to understand the difference between the two. Alright, let's first focus on the security group itself. And if you see, there are few inbound rules here. Okay, what the rule states is that the rule as of now states that it will allow only, let me edit the inbound rule so it is very clear to you. It will allow only SSH traffics to come in to that, and it is a custom inbound rule. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to change that to all traffic. It includes HTTP, it includes HTTPS, it includes SSH, and it includes other kind of traffic, and I'll include anywhere from IPv4, and I'll save the rule. That is the first thing if you want to launch your website, and if you want to see that your website is being launched, or if you want to check if your web server is working, Apache web server is working. It is not working as of now. That the one of the reasons was the security group, and now we have allowed all of the traffic from here. It's still not working, and I think this is the reason, because I'm looking at the HTTP. Oh yeah, so now see, it works. So this is the default page that the Apache web server right now has, and that's the reason why it is showing it works. Now what we can do is we can configure an index.html, a default index page, whatever we want. We can configure that, and once we configure that, it will show the default index page. Now how do we do it? Okay, so let me go back to the instance, and let me I'll just try to duplicate this page. Okay, so this is the one that we are running right now. Okay, the reason why I said is because I wanted to show you the ways we can connect. So there are 2 to 3 ways, as I said, we can connect. One is directly EC2 Instance Connect, where you can directly launch it from here, or you can either do the SSH Connect by using the CloudShell. Now this is very interesting part here. CloudShell is one of the important command line interfaces that we have provided, and this is provided within the AWS. So for example, I just launched the CloudShell, and then I say S3 AWS S3 ls, and it will list all of the buckets that are within the account. So I don't have to configure, or I don't have to provide any of the username, passwords, or the keys that we had created earlier in my previous videos. If you had seen, I created keys. I don't have to provide anything here. It will by default be taken, and then it will show you what are all the S3 buckets that are available. All right. Okay. So one thing that I need to do is I need to upload the PEM file if I need to, in order for me to connect to the EC2 instance. I'll upload that, and I'll come back to you, and then I'll show how it works. Alright, so if you see that there are 3 PEM files here, and the one that we had used is EC2 web server PEM file, and I'll open that, and I'm uploading the PEM file here. Okay, PEM file already exists. Alright, so it is saying that the PEM file already exists. So if you see, if I just list it here, it already shows that the PEM file is existing. Previously, probably when I was trying to connect to this instance, I had uploaded the PEM file. That's the reason why it is showing that it is here. Now I'll see what is the present working directory. It is home CloudShell user, and when I say who am I, it says the CloudShell user. That's the name. All right, let me just clear it, and then what we need to do, ls minus la. Alright, if I see the EC2 web server PEM file is already the chmod 400, we had already done it previously, so it is showing that it is only read only as of now. Alright, that is what is expected. So when I go to connection options here and the SSH client, then you can see that it is asking us to open the SSH client, which we have already done here. It is asking us to locate the file and upload it, which we have already done. We have already changed the permissions for that as 400 for the EC2 web server PEM file, which we have already done, and this is the command which we require to connect to the EC2 instance. Now what I'll do is I'll just paste it here, and then I'll say yes, and this is within the web server. Now if I say pwd, it will show where I am, and if I say who am I, it will tell me that it is the EC2 user that has been logged in to this, that we have SSH'd into this particular instance, all right, using the PEM file. So once we are here, what we need to do is we need to go to var www and HTML folder. So this is where the default index.html will be there. So if you see, there's nothing as of now. So what I'll do is I'll just create a index.html file. So that is the default file which will be taken care. So now as you see, it works is the default index.html file. It just has two words, it works. But then what we are doing is we are creating another index file within the EC2 instance, so that we can change it and provide it whatever as we want. So now if I do ls, it will show that in this present working directory, inside the HTML, there is an index.html file. So what I'll do is I'll just change the index.html file, and let's see if this changes, or whether the Apache is able to pick up this index.html file or not. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll vi the index.html file, and this is very interesting. Whenever you have opened this in a vi editor, you just have to press I to insert. If you see, the insert mode is on. Now what I'll do is I'll say h1, that is the h1 tag in HTML. I'll say hello world, which is our favorite sentence, just two words, hello world, and then I'll close the h1 tag, and in next line I'll take the h2 tab. This is the cloud simplifier. I'll close the h2 tag as well. Alright, so what we have done here is I've said hello world, this is cloud simplifier, this is the cloud simplifier, which is my name. So I call myself the cloud simplifier because I simplify the cloud, and that's the reason why I've put it here. Alright, so once we have done this, what we need to do is we need to press escape to get out of the insert mode. Then I say shift : right, quit, and then force. So this is the words, or these are the commands that we need to provide. So W means right, Q means quit, and then exclamation marks means force. Alright, so now if I see, there is the index.html, and if I vi the index.html file, it will show what is the contents of this index.html file. Alright, so I'll quit it, and then let's refresh this and then see if it is picking up that index. Wow, look. So guys, we have created our first very simple website. This is the public IP address. As of now, once I terminate the instance, this public IP will be gone, or even if I restart the instance, this public IP will be different. But what if you want to keep the IP address same? Then you'll have to create something called as an EIP, or the elastic IP, which is the option provided to you within the EC2. So you can go to EC2 and then you can create one of the elastic IPs and then associate that elastic IP to this EC2 instance, so that whenever you restart the EC2 instance, the IP address does not change. Alright, so guys, that is what I wanted to show you. So this is very interesting, because this is the first website, or the first very simple website that we have launched, and we are able to use it through the internet, and the internet is able to access the EC2 instance because of the security groups. I have added all traffic here. It is still working. Let's do one thing. Let's edit the inbound rules. The inbound rules will remove all the traffic, and we'll just use HTTP, and then we'll check if it is working. Alright, now I'll save the rules. Once the rules are saved, they take effect immediately, and if I refresh, yes, it is working. Yes, it is working. Now let me change this back and then see. I'll edit the inbound rule. I'll change it again back to HTTPS, for example, and then I'll say anywhere from IP. Let's see if this works. I've saved the security group, and then once I refresh this, now look, this will not work. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see this, but if you see the IP, website is trying to access it and it is not able to access it, just because we have stopped or we have restricted the security groups to only allow HTTPS traffic. And if you see this is an HTTP traffic and this is not an HTTPS traffic. Let's go back and then edit the inbound rules and then say I want to allow HTTP traffic and not the HTTPS, and probably once I save this rule, the website should work. Alright, see, now it is working. Now there is no issue with the website that is working. Alright, so this is all about EC2 instance. This is all about security groups. This is all how you can deploy your first web application by using Apache Server. And if you want to restart the Apache Server, there are commands which you can use in the CloudShell itself to restart the Apache Server, or if you have any issues, you can even restart the instance itself. So let me show you the option. So if you go inside here, inside the running instance, and then when you see the instance state, there is 3 states: reboot the instance, stop the instance, and terminate the instance. Stop the instances. If you stop the instance currently, you will not be able to access the websites, and the instance will be stopped. You will not be charged except for the HDD or the EFS or EBS that have been attached to the EC2 instance, or the EIP, the elastic IP address that has been attached to the instance. Otherwise, you're not being charged for that. If you have not attached those, then you should be fine. You can just stop the EC2 instance, and you'll not be incurring any charges. Reboot is like restarting your EC2 instance. Like I told you, it is like a virtual machine within the cloud. So they have provided you options of hibernate, EC2 instance, stop the instance, reboot the instance, or terminating the instance. Terminating is completely shutting it down and providing the space so that someone else can use it. Alright guys, this is what I wanted to show you. Our first website, hello world. This is Cloud Simplifier. This works perfectly fine. We have seen how we can configure the HTML page, the index.html page, where we can put the index.html page, the default index.html page, and how we can configure and deploy the web application. This is very simple guys. You can work on this. If you want to create a huge website, you can architect the website. You can use DynamoDB, or you can use RDS for storing your data within the database, and then you can use EC2 instance. You can use a login page. You can create n number of samples so that you can understand how the cloud actually works. Alright guys, this is what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to tell you. It's been lovely that you have stayed till the end. If you have any doubts, please do not hesitate to contact me. If you have any suggestions, please do not hesitate to put it in the comment section. I'll definitely look at the comment section and then respond. And if you have any doubts, you can always send me an email on the cloudsimplifier@gmail.com. Alright guys, please consider subscribing to this channel if you have not already. Alright, this is Tejas signing off, and you have a great day.